Hey friends, I'm 8ball and welcome back to another Hiveswap Friendsim video. Oh shit, what did I just do? Okay, well, I think I clicked on Stelsa, so we're doing her route today anyways. Today we are going to be covering Stelsa's, good routes? Roots with a question mark? I don't know. We're going to be trying to get all of her good endings, no matter how many there may be. Um, but yeah, so maybe I should turn down the volume just a little bit. Um, just hold on. Options. Where are you at? Okay, just a small. Maybe right there. Okay. So yeah, like I said, we were going to try and be getting her good routes today. So let's do that. Um, Alright. Okay, so it turns out stealing a car was easily one of your better impulse decisions. You've gotten accustomed enough to its weird insides by now that the squishiness doesn't much faze you anymore. It still feels like the warm stomach of a giant creature, but actually, you find it kind of comforting. You can just let yourself get enveloped by this seat while the autopilot does its thing. Getting ferried through the streets of Alternia with your feet up on the dash sure beats endlessly pounding the pavement. Sometimes you even throw Sarava's stream on your phone if you really want to get that chill vibe going. You're surprised that you haven't been caught yet, dastardly carjacker that you are, but maybe you're just a better thief than you've always thought. A possible career change to look into if you ever get back to Earth. The downside is that it's a little difficult for you to further your goal of gathering even more friendship from inside the vehicle, so you'd park the scuttle buggy and expose yourself to the menaces of the outside world once more. You're in what looks like some sort of residential neighborhood. It isn't as nice as the blue blood neighborhoods you've seen, but still nice enough for still nice enough for most of the apartment complexes to have imposing locked front gates and security drones. But of course, you can't take a leisurely stroll in Alternia without something terrible happening. You aren't out there for very long before it starts raining. Shit, damn, fuck. You've ditched the umbrella Tirona had given you since it was way too heavy, and since it was as heavy as a goddamn club, and now you're super regretting it. Running for shelter is all you can do, so you make a mad dash for one of the building awnings, huddling uncomfortably underneath it. The rain doesn't let up. You'll have to move soon. The security drones are beginning to look like they're planning on taking a few shots at you for loitering. You need to make a decision and fast. So we tried running back to the scuttle buggy last time, and that resulted in us turning into a skeleton. So we are going to try and get into one of the buildings. There is no way you're getting into any of these without a passcode. But wait, you think you see someone coming your way. Perhaps they'll be your knight in shining armor? So what you're telling me is that my appointment is cancelled? You're still some distance away, but she's looking right at you. You point to yourself questioningly, thinking she might be talking to you, but then you realize that she's wearing a Bluetooth headset. Jeremy used to be so on the ball. Remember the time he gave me a full-prong beautifying procedure right after that high blood ripped his arm off? But now he can't bounce back from one little thresher in the abdominal sausages. What happened? That boy is losing his touch. Looks like she's coming back from a jog, if the running shorts are anything to go by. But she's all bothered. What? If she's at all bothered by the acid glancing off her skin, sending dozens of little firecracker sparks in their wake, she isn't showing it. She seems much more preoccupied by the harried conversation she's having on the phone. Most importantly, she's power walking to the entrance of this building, which must mean she lives here. This is your chance. You scuffle along under the awning, pressing yourself close to the side of the building, bug-like. You sort of wish she'd encountered you earlier when you were dodging rain like a rad action hero. Now you just kind of look cowardly and pathetic. Especially compared to her. She's striding along like absolutely nothing is going to get in the way of whatever business she's got going on, let alone a few paltry explosions. Actually, she's so focused on her call that she doesn't even notice you until you're standing right next to her. Such an inconvenience. You can fully expect that I will be taking my business elsewhere from now on. Oh my, what do we have here? She transitions from hanging up the call to talking to you so quickly that it makes your head spin. Take this down. Strange little hornless creature parked in front of my home, very puny and scared looking. Can only be the alien everyone has been talking about, so such an opportunity can't go to waste, now can it? You're confused again, looking around to see who she might be talking to, but there's nobody else. Nobody else here. Maybe she's dictating notes to her phone? Look at you, we can't have you wandering around outside like this, darling, can we? I choked a little bit. Aren't you ravishing? Do give me the name of your stylist. So good to meet you. Here's my card. The name's Stelsa says yes. It's terrorizer. I messed up on this word in the last one too. Audit terrorizer in training for the Alternian Empire. Nice to meet you. Let's walk and talk. You didn't realize that borrowed hoodie was that impressive of a look, but okay. She proceeds. She produces a business card with one hand and inputs some numbers into a panel on the other. You take the card. It's a struggle to process what she's saying, respond to her questions, and introduce yourself, all while experiencing the verbal equivalent of getting hit by a truck. How is it possible to talk so fast without getting a breath? You can barely get a word in edgewise. Stelsa continues chattering away as she steps inside and waves you to follow her into the apartment building's elevator. You do. So, tell me, do you run any business on your own planet? If you do, I would be more than happy to offer my services. They are very efficient and affordable, I can assure you. All your legal and financial documents will be checked over in no time. I will make sure everything is running at tip-top shape. I'm so happy to have run into you. Ever since Zizi told me she met you, I've been asking her to introduce me. It's so very important for a professional to continue her growing her network, especially intergalactically. Don't you agree? She's still busying herself with her phone while talking to you, texting on this tiny keyboard now. The name Zizi doesn't ring any bells. You flip through the Rolodex in your brain, trying to remember. Have you really made so many friends that you're beginning to forget their names? You're a little impressed with yourself. It feels like only yesterday that you were crawling around the basement of a murderess and getting stabbed in the shin with a screwdriver. Just a single friend to your name. Good times. You've come so far since then. It brings a single sentimental tear to your eye. Wait, Stelsa. What? Hold on. Wait, Stelsa's own name finally starts to register. You've heard it before. This is Tysius's mate spirit, so she must be talking about Tysius. Murderous stabbing, very fascinating stuff, I'm sure. Yes, I'm referring to my darling Tysius, of course. You're at the door to her hive. She unlocks it, letting you both in. Come in. Welcome to my Chesayat. Make yourself at home. Can I get you anything? Water, grub cake, my rates sheet? I would love to continue our chat while I'm a little less sweaty, and also acid wreaks absolute havoc on the skin. You know how it is. I'll just jump into the abolition trap for a minute. Please excuse me, I won't be long. Back in 2 shakes of a quack beast gastric evacuation pillow. What? Actually, you wouldn't know how it is, considering that a bucket load of acid falling on you would leave you either very injured or very dead, and she's already gone. You're a little relieved that. You're a little relieved. It's not that Stelsa isn't friendly. She's plenty friendly. She's just approaches friendship in a way that makes you feel a little like a line on her to-do list that she's in a hurry to check off. Or, well, she seems like she wants you as some sort of work contact, not a friend. But that's okay. You've worn many hats in the pursuit of friendship. Clown cultist, impromptu shooshpapper, murder accomplice, business associate is one of the tamer ones on the list. Now that you no longer have to keep up with her mile-a-minute conversation, you take a proper look around her hive. You're not sure what's more perturbing, the sheer amount of pink that's accosted your eyeballs, or the fact that everything is so painstakingly organized that it's making you a little uncomfortable. It's like you merely standing here is disrupting the careful order of the room. Her shelves are crammed full of books, all neatly arranged according to topic, with each topic displayed on a little label on each shelf. She also has a lot of posters featuring motivational slogans underneath striking nature photography. The only normal-looking spot in the hive is a coffee table with a mishmash of personal belongings piled on top of it. Books, papers, a jacket. You think that might be a mug? None of these items strike you as being particularly Stelsa's style. The overall effect is that of a very pink, very neat office cubicle. You almost feel like you should start chugging mediocre coffee and complaining about how much you hate Mondays. So sorry to have kept you waiting. Stelsa reemerges, her hair wrapped in a towel. Well, it's been a blast getting to know you. We should get lunch sometime, keep the conversation going. I'll pencil you in, darling. But for now, I have a bit of a dilemma to deal with. That sounds worryingly like a dismissal. You sneak a glance at the schedule on her bulletin board. It's a blaze of color, with barely any free slots. You don't want to be penciled in. You have no idea when she might be available next. Or, what? And you need her sweet, sweet friendship now. Maybe whatever problem she has is something you could help with? Unless you're a ludicrously talented beautician, I think not. My usual place bumped me off their list, and right before a very important meeting, too. A girl has to look her best for these things, really, to knock their socks off. To really knock their socks off. Sorry, my mic is falling. Come on. Okay. To really, what? If I want to make arrangements at another salon, I shall have to move fast. No time to waste. So I think I've already saved here. Yes, okay. So, last time we did this one and pretended to be a beautician, but that went bad. So this time, I think, let's do this. Why not use the extra time to do more prep for the meeting? That is an excellent idea. I visited this potential client's establishment a wipe ago, but it was a quick one. I could do well to cast my gander bulbs around the place properly. It's pretty much in the bag, but this meeting is a clincher and there's no way I can flub it. Having Ramel Namak as a client would be too good of a cluckbeast plume in my pan lid for me to chuck the opportunity. What? Alright, hold on. I know she's talking about Ramel. Having Ramel Namak as a client would be too good of a cluckbeast plume in my pan lid for me to check the opportunity in the load capper. Okay. Ramel? You totally know her. How about that? Yes, I would hope you did, darling. She's only been splashed all over the papers lately with that stunt of hers. Buying out her competitor like that. I've never heard the likes of it before. She's flitting around her hive as she speaks, nipping into what you assume is her bedroom to blow her hair dry before shuffling some papers into a handbag. You tail her as best as you can, feeling a bit like a pet cat underfoot who's threatening to trip her at every turn. Maintaining a career as successful yet relatively avant-garde artist is very different to assuming ownership of and managing a museum, and yet she has made it work. Oh, she bought a museum. She bought the museum. Whoa, sounds like Romella's been busy since the last time you saw her. You clarify that Romella is a friend of yours, actually. Stelsa stops in her tracks. Really? Why didn't you say so in the first place? You should come with me. Getting the 411 on Rommel from a friend of hers could really give me a frond up. What do you say? You're not sure there's much you can tell Stelsa about Rommel. You're pretty sure Rommel doesn't want an auditor in training, or, well, anyone really knowing that she's an art thief. But, why not? There has to be some stray info about Rommel knocking around the old noggin that might come in useful. Marvelous! Come on, you can tell me on the way. She takes your hand and pulls you out the door. You scuffle after Stelsa and... What? No. You offer Stelsa a ride in your totally not stolen scuttle buggy. It's still raining, but she shields you both with an umbrella that's almost as big as you are as you walk to where it's parked. You get in, put on some tunes for the road, and head off. Oh, look at this. Isn't this cute? With a shattered windshield and everything. Once you're on your way, you admit to Stelsa that most of your and Rommel's conversations just involve her bouncing ideas off of you for her webcomic, but you're still happy to answer any questions she might have about Rommel's overall deal. You're expecting her to be disappointed, but her eyes practically light up. What a privilege! To be completely truthful, I am quite a fan. And I am quite the fan. I have been following her webcomic for a while. She admits this kind of sheepishly. Does she think that liking comics is embarrassing? Of course not. Okay, maybe a little. It seems irresponsible to spend some time on something as flippant as a comic on the internet when I have so much other business to attend to and lots of irons in the fire over here. Achievements don't achieve themselves, you know. She got a whole bunch of irons in the fire. Oh god, am I so glad to hear that phrase again. Maybe, but hobbies and downtime are important too. You never feel more rested than after you've let yourself do absolutely nothing but enjoy a good comic. What? She looks at you blankly. You know, rest? Oof. Oh, I always make sure to get enough recuperation every day. No concerns there, to be sure. What you're talking about is a bit different from getting enough sleep. But you try a different track. Why is she taking this job with Rommel anyways? Isn't she busy enough with her training? Well, sure, I have that internship with the Alternian government as well, but here, there can never be enough experience under one's belt. You're beginning to see what the problem is. You get the feeling that Stelsa might be a bit of a workaholic. Just vaguely. Has she ever considered... You're so involved in trying to convince Stelsa of the merits of getting her chill on that you don't realize there's anything wrong. Not until Stelsa lets out a screech and almost bursts your eardrums. What?
Fiddlesticks! We can't go this way. There's road work happening here. The scuttle buggy must be operating with an outdated map. Switch it to manual and turn us around. Quick, quick!
The roadwork Stelsa is referring to is a bridge with a "Do Not Enter" sign hastily put up. Beyond the sign, the bridge is prepped with is peppered with enormous holes. Some look big enough for the entire car to fall through easily.
What are you waiting for? Hurry!
Well, there is one small problem. You can't drive.
Oh, fudge nuggets!
Stelsa presses a few buttons, switching the controls to manual. You grab the wheel, turning it wildly, your only goal to make sure that you don't drive into the death bridge. You probably should have paid attention to the steep slope curving away from the road. Oof. You both yell as the scuttle buggy zooms downwards at a full tilt. Miraculously, it doesn't tip, but it does slam into a power line, sending the two of you lurching forward. If it wasn't for the unnerving lung-like airbags that inflate in front of you, you would have shot out the front window. Anxiously, you will ask if Stelsa is okay. Stelsa doesn't seem too concerned about whether she's injured or not. She's making a futile attempt to push the airbags out of the way so she can get out of the car.
There is no way we will make my meeting on time now. And I look like an absolute mess.
She's right. Her hair, which was all gentle and soft tufts before, is sticking up in all directions, and her glasses have smashed in the collision.
Why did I think this was a good idea? I should have just walked. Thanks for nothing.
The car might have survived the crash, but if Stelsa's cranky expression is anything to go by, your budding friendship with her wasn't so lucky. Oof. Oh no. She bleeding. Fashion fox pass. Okay, so that was like the first of the... So I guess there's 3 bad endings for her. Okay. Oof. Alright, well, we still got one more to cover, so let's do that. I'm trying to remember which one was it that we were on. It was the... Was it this one? Yeah, who needs a beautician when you're around? Okay. You'll have absolutely no professional beauty experience, but Sarava did give you that crash course on crafting great looks. Stelsa is probably after a vibe that's a little more or less moisture wave, but you're sure you can whip something up. You tell her that you'll help her get ready instead. Here, right here in her hive.
Oh, how nice. I've never had a house call before. Let's do this.
She leads you to the next room, rubbing her hair dry as she goes. There's a recupercoon in one corner and a vanity in the other, with an array of pouffets, brushes, and other mysterious implements spread out on its surface. Some of them are disturbingly pointy. Oh well, you're sure you'll be able to figure out what they're all for once you start using them. Stelsa takes a seat in the chair in front of the vanity, folding her hands primly on her lap.
So, darling, what do you think? What should we do first? It's all up to you.
Not this again. Why are you always making all the decisions around here? What you wouldn't give to be able to foist your own life choices off of random people you've just met. It would be refreshing. Last time we tried polishing her horns, which was a bad idea. Bad idea. So today we are going to style her hair. The first order of business you should try... The first order of business, you should be drying her hair. Okay. You pick up a funnel-shaped doohickey that looks like it might be a hairdryer. Fumbling around with the button, there isn't one, but you manage to turn it on by giving it a good squeeze. The mouth of the funnel opens up wide, emitting a hot blast of air, along with a hoarse animal yell. You think you might actually see teeth inside? Just don't think about it too much. that's the best you can do when it comes to literally any Alternian gadget. Thankfully, the noise soon fades to a low hum.
Here, use this.
Stelsa passes you a piece of thorny bramble. It looks painful, but when you begin brushing Stelsa's hair, she sighs happily.
Interesting being in this position for once. When Tysius is over, usually I'm the one doing this.
You try to imagine Tysius letting someone give her a sweet do. Even when it's her girlfriend in question, you have a hard time picturing it. Stelsa laughs. She has a surprisingly pretty musical laugh.
No. My dear Zizi isn't the one involved with beauty rituals. She usually doesn't let me do more than just brush it, but it's still relaxing.
Sliding the brush through Stelsa's hair is pretty relaxing. You allow yourself to zen out for a moment before shaking yourself out of it, casting around for something to talk about. That's what good hairdressers do, right? Strike up casual conversation? Your eyes fall on an open book sitting on the table. There's only one object there that doesn't have anything to do with hair. It's the only object there that doesn't have to do with hair care or beauty, so it stands out like a sore thumb. Just like the items on the coffee table, it's strewn too haphazardly to look like it belongs to Stelsa. Stelsa? Is it like... I don't know. You think you see some of the tabs Tysius was using on the notes for her group project. And if you look even closer, you think you catch the words revolt and history on the page header. Right. Tysius' matesprit Stelsa probably has big plans for dismantling the system from the inside too, after she becomes an auditor. You remark that you think it's really cool what she and Tysius are doing. It might be scary to stick it to the man like that, but someone has to do it. Okay, it's not exactly light conversation, but talking to Tysius about this had been so enlightening, if sad. And you really bonded over it. Maybe you'll be able to bond with Stelsa the same way. But Stelsa only looks confused. Then her eyes flick down to the book just a second before she reaches out, smartly snaps it shut, and squirrels it away in one of the drawers. The sound of the drawer slamming makes you jump, and you narrowly avoid pulling Stelsa's hair.
I'm quite sure I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sticking anything anywhere. Definitely not to any man. And neither is Tysius.
She's sitting straight and tense in the chair now, her voice soaring to a high bordering on hysterical pitch. Oh no, she probably doesn't know you're on their side. Tysius might not have told her about your conversation. It's okay, you're not going to tell anyone. You're sworn to secrecy, but Stelsa averts her eyes, a stubborn set to her chin.
Again, I have no idea what you're talking about. Not a single clue. Tysius and myself are both law-abiding subjects of the Empire. We don't dabble in such foolish things as sympathizing with rebels. What would that possibly accomplish?
She wrings her hands distractedly.
We do things the way we do on Alternia for a reason, darling. Without the hemospectrum, the roles we each need to play... What? And the roles we each need to play, why? The world would be plunged into complete chaos. Can you even imagine? Trolls running around not knowing which way is up and doing whatever they please, no one to tell them what their place in the world is.
She goes from hand-wringing to gesticulating wildly. Oh. Okay, so hold on. Gesticulating wildly, almost knocking a row of jars off the table, positively frantic at the prospect of societal breakdown.
It's better for everyone this way. I truly believe that.
You're beginning to realize that you might have put your foot in your mouth, just a little bit. Stuffed a toe or two in that gob of yours, maybe. She sounds way too earnest for this to be a cover-up. Could it be possible that Stelsa really does side with what had Tysius called her, the Condus? And that she doesn't know about Tysius's underground research after all? But the book was right there. You're so confused. Talking about this is clearly distressing Stelsa, though. So you drop it, focusing on finishing up her hair instead. It's pretty soft now that it's dry. You're not sure you've styled it correctly, but she seems pleased.
Great work, nice, fantastic, you did an excellent job.
You glow at the praise. You'd say thanks, but she's already passing you a bottle of nail polish. She really wants you to go all the way, huh? You twist it open and get to work. You're too focused on not smudging the teal color over the stately points of her claws to talk, but Stelsa breaks the silence.
I have a question for you.
You nod, sticking your tongue out in concentration.
So, I have this acquaintance.
This is the most tentative you've heard her so far. You weren't sure her vocal cords were capable of it.
They are in a quadrant with someone who harbors views most would consider subversive, if not outright treasonous.
She's obviously talking about herself and Tysius, but you don't want to point that out in case she gets upset again, so you just nod along thoughtfully.
She didn't always. The matesprit, I mean. It will blow over at some point. She must just be going through a difficult phase. But in the meantime, she could get into oh so much trouble.
Stelsa's lower lip wobbles, like she's about to cry. You chew on the inside of your cheek, trying to figure out what to say. Talking to Tysius very much did not leave you with the impression that it was a phase. She sounded pretty serious. Does Stelsa's friend have any idea that this is going on? She looks at the drawer. So do you.
Nope.
You resist the urge to massage your temples.
Oof.
You resist the urge to massage your temples. No idea at all?
Absolutely not.
Alright, okay. You can do this. A good first step might be for her friend to face up to the issue. You know, if there's a chance that they have the tiniest inkling about what might be happening, so the two of them can talk about it.
Talk about it?
Yeah? You're no expert on open discussion. You're no expert, but open discussion probably helps with relationship problems quite a bit. Hold on. Okay. Plus, you ruminate to yourself. Plus, you ruminate to yourself. The more you think about it, the less it seems that Tysius leaving her controversial book out like that was an accident. It was right in front of Stelsa's chair, after all. Maybe Tysius wanted Stelsa to see it. You slicked the last bit of color onto Stelsa's pinky claw a while ago, but you're both too wrapped up in conversation to suggest that you should move on to something else. She lets the polish dry while you two continue to talk.
But my friend does not agree with her matesprit's sentiments. Discussing it would just cause unnecessary friction, wouldn't it?
Maybe, but even so, addressing the issue is probably better than pretending it isn't there. Besides, quadrant mates can, coexist regardless of different beliefs, right? Yeah, you don't sound too convincing even to yourself, but the platitudes seem to comfort Stelsa somewhat.
Maybe you're right.
Carefully, mindful of her just dried nails, she wipes away a few tears, much to your horror. Was that the wrong thing to say? But then you notice that she's smiling.
I have not spoken about that to anyone before now. Telling you about it was truly a load off my bellow sac cavity. I am certain my friend will be grateful as well. I shall repay your advice accordingly as soon as I can.
You smile back at her weakly. You haven't been able to relate too much when it comes to Alternian life, but boy, you can relate to relationship drama. And trolls sure seem to have plenty of it. You hope everything turns out alright for her and her friend. Uh, sorry, I'm blanking. Since her voice is all sniffly and her eyelashes still wet, you retrieve a frilly box of hand tissues and hold it out to her, hoping that will help. She pulls out a few and blows her nose on them with a sad honking noise.
I should finish getting ready.
She seems reluctant to get up, though. You would probably be the same, knowing that you had to head into a serious business meeting after spilling your heart out like that. Experiencing emotions is tiring. Boop-a-doop. She's so cute, though. I love her dimples. Eventually, though, Stelsa musters up enough energy to get to her feet. Much to your surprise, instead of immediately rushing off to complete her next pre-meeting task, she pulls you into a tight hug.
Thank you. You're a real friend.
And there it is. Not colleague, not potential client, but that wonderful friendship word. Yay! Friends forever. Oh. More allegiance? Confusion? What's... Okay, cool. Alright, well, that was, the last of, Stelsa's route. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Stelsa's adorable. I'm forgetting my outro, hold on. Wow, this is bad. Okay, again, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to play the game for yourself, I will leave a link in the description where you can go buy it. It is only 99 cents on Steam, and that is a pretty good deal to me, honestly. But if you do not want to buy it, you can always go binge my entire playlist of Hiveswap Friendsim videos, and that will be at the end of this video. You can just click on that and go see all of my earlier videos. I have like 40 plus. I've covered every route up until this point, and I'm still going. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!